Hello friends, today I am going to talk about the new education policy 2020, its impact to stakeholders and my personal assessment of the policy in general. The fulcrum of the policy hover around three themes: educate, encourage and enlighten. The policy document is quite exhaustive and comprehensive. It goes deep both at length as well as at breadth. The policy impacts every stakeholder in the Indian education system, starting from school education to higher education or university education and then professional courses. The impact to student is because there is a structural change. Impact to tutor is because of the fact that the tutor has to upskill themselves on a continuous basis so that they can impart quality education to the wards. And even at regulatory level there are some changes because the current establishment believe that the different boards or today's structure has conflict of interest in terms of roles and responsibilities, and there is an immense need to streamline those. Because as I said, the document is a 66-page policy document. So I'll be highlighting the key features of the policy in three separate short videos. In the first video, I'll talk about when the policy is going to be effective, why the policy has come into vogue, what government is trying to achieve as part of this policy, and what are the salient features of the policy. So in my second video, I'll cover what are the impacts to school education per se. In my third video, I'll talk about what are the impacts to higher education and my personal assessment. So let me get started with the part one, which is the overview of the policy. The policy was approved in the cabinet last week, will come into effect from academic year 2022-23, which is 2 years from now. There are two major reasons why this policy has come into vogue. The first reason is the evolving employment scenario globally today. Because what has been performed, the repetitive tasks performed by humans previously have been replaced by machines. So what industry wants today is skill-based workforce. So our Prime Minister, you would have observed, he's talked about skill development over a period of many times. He talked about skill development in the past few years. He's precisely for this reason. And the second major reason is in 2015, Government of India given a commitment to achieve sustainable development goals by 2030. One such goal is to ensure inclusive and equitable education for all. In simple terms, what it means is a student in metro and a student in tribal area or rural area receive the same quality standard of education. So there is parity maintained. And secondly, government wants to achieve a lot of things as part of the policy implementation. The topmost being Indian education system must be second to none in the world by 2040. The second most important is education for all, as I voiced out just now as part of Sustainable Development Initiative. Thirdly, they are creating a gender inclusive fund targeting the girl and transgender students so that they are trying to attract them to the mainstream education. And we do have some proportion of severely disabled students who are taking homeschooling. So this homeschooling standard should be same as the standard quality of education imparted to people going to schools. Last but not the least, government wants to achieve the Indian education standard should commensurate with the requirements of the guidelines of International Labour Organization, so that any student from Indian education system, when he goes out, at different levels is industry ready, whether he is a 10th completed or professionally qualified. So that is what at a larger scale they want to achieve. To achieve this, they set themselves some targets. The first target is our public expenditure to education as a percentage of the GDP. Currently it stands at 4.43%. So they want to enhance to 6%, which is a global scale. Secondly, by 2025, they wanted to achieve all students, kids enrolled for foundation level course. So they estimated that close to 5 crore children who are from socio-economically disadvantaged areas. So this policy is mainly focused on them. The other thing is 50% of the population or the education population should be given or exposure to vocational education, that also by 2025. And the people to teacher tutor ratio is fixed at 30:1. And in the so-called socio-economically disadvantaged areas, it is prone to 25:1. And the policy is aimed so that there are no dropouts from the curriculum. So, or in other words, they want to attract everyone to the educational system. So no kid in in India should be privileged enough. So whatever the kid likes, the government should be able to provide infrastructure and other facilities so that his dream is realized. So this is irrespective of the background or the poverty status of the family. So every child is important, every child is given the same equal treatment. That's what they wanted to achieve. So what are the salient, coming to the salient features of the policy? So from the current structure has lot of content. So they want to reduce the content and focus on enhancing the essential learning, basically what is essential to be learned, and to enhance the critical thinking. By way of, they want to achieve this through what they call it as analysis-based learning, discovery-based learning, conceptual learning, or even whatever term you call it as research-based learning. So they wanted to see a paradigm shift in the way the learning is conducted in India. Okay. Second most important thing is today we are working in silos, some in art, some in science stream, some in vocational, some in academic, some co-curricular, co-curricular. All these silos will be disbanded in the new structure. In other words, every kid will be exposed to everything. So they are bringing to create a holistic and multi-dimensional, multidisciplinary talent as part of the curriculum, so that everyone is exposed to arts, science, professional, vocational, as well as soft skills. Soft skills are very important. So that is also, injected into the young minds in the early stage of their education. Lastly, very importantly, there is a lot of thrust on vocational education because when compared to the external world, India has been a percentile of exposure to vocational education is very paltry. It is maintained that less than 5% of the the workforce in the 19 to 24 year bracket have been received formal education. Excuse me. When you compare to the world, the metrics stand at 52% in the US, 75% in Germany, and 96% in South Korea. So overall, what they are trying to achieve in this, as part of this curriculum, is every kid learn everything or get exposure to everything, like starting from basic hygiene, sanitation, and to the extreme learning coding as well as artificial intelligence, robotics, and everything is encompassed in this curriculum. The children will be exposed to Children will be exposed to even constitution, plurality of Indian society. I mean, how we should behave in public. What are the good qualities, good habits will be inculcated, and also they'll also learn about importance of non-violence, impacts of harassment. Why? I mean, how? Why? All genders, there should be gender equality. People should be treated with respect, and so on. So it's the topics are widespread. So this is the overview of the new education policy. I'll see you in my second video, wherein I'll detail about the impacts to the school education. Thank you.